So I read your guys' comments on the Precision Overdrive, and you guys said, Eric, have you ever tried a Friedman Overdrive? And I said, no, I have not, but I am very curious. Looked into it, and fell in love with some of these videos I saw on YouTube, and had to get one for myself. So I went ahead and got the Friedman BEOD, and this is based off of their Brown Eye amp, and this is a kind of, Friedman is a kind of a modded Marshall kind of amp company, and they are very crunchy and crisp and just very good. And I wanted to try it for myself and see if I liked it, so here we go. This is how it sounds. I'm going through a Marshall JVM 210H. This is a 100 watt head, and I'm going through my Bloody Mary cabinet with a vintage 30, and with my Chipson, actually, with DiMarzio pickups in it. And we're going to see how it sounds. Also, I'm playing through the clean channel is the green channel, the orange channel is the crunch channel, and then the red is the overdrive. And I'm going to be going back and forth because I'm going to be actually using this as a boost and as an overdrive in itself. So yeah, here we go. My overall review on this Friedman pedal is awesome. I honestly give it a 10 out of 10, and there's a reason why. There's actually multiple reasons why, and I'm going to start with one of the reasons why is because it literally is and sounds like an amp in a box. It is so dynamic, so clear, so crunchy, so mean sounding. When you want it to sound mean, when you want it to sound light, it just works with you. You take the gain all the way back and it's like an actual amp, a valve amp taking it down. Obviously play it through a tube amp so you can get the full effect, but that is one of the big reasons why I think this is so good. Is this is literally to me a Friedman in a box, and to spend $200 rather than $2,000 that I didn't want to spend, this is such a great choice. The other reason is I can actually use this as a full-on amp distortion and a overdrive. Now, in this video, I was actually kind of using it more as an overdrive, as pushing the amp a little bit harder and making it squeal just a little bit more, just to get that more metal distortion. But this is a full, if I wanted to, I can go into a completely clean amp and get a full amp's distortion. But then if I really wanted an amp just to get a little bit of extra clarity, or not so much clarity, but a little bit extra high end or maybe more low end, this pedal actually works with this. This is the first amp that has a presence knob that actually feels like the presence works. Like you can literally have a muddy amp and then you can put the presence and start cranking it more, and then it actually starts sounding clear. It like mods your pickups and everything to just get a clearer tone. So I think the controls on this aren't just bass, treble, and presence. It's actually a big deal. But I will say my overall favorite reason that I think this is one of the best pedals that I've bought is that tight switch. If you do not know what this tight switch is it is basically putting the kind of compression and the kind of thickness and looseness and tightness of all amps in one knob. If I wanted to sound as loose and as big and bassy and just kind of just deep sounding, that would be like an orange tone right there, right? It would just be kind of muddy, but it would be very open and very just chuggy, and you can't do very thick chugs with this because it's just very thick and it sounds a lot like an orange. When you start going over here, you start sounding a little bit like a Hewden Kettner and a Marshall. And then when you get here, you kind of is right in the blend of both of these, like a 6505 and a Marshall, or you know, like even if you wanted to sound like a Mesa, I would put it on this side of it would be really loose. And then when I start going over here, I start getting this kind of EVH tightness, the 6505 tightness, the diesel tightness, the Engel amp tightness. All of that is in this knob, guys. This is amazing. The fact is I've never had a pedal that actually did this like I needed it to. Either like I had a Bogner Ubershaw pedal and that was just a loose distortion and you can never tighten it up. You take the bass all the way back, you take the treble all the way forward, and it was still a tight pedal, or it was still a very loose, spongy pedal. But this tight switch is literally, they need to have this tight switch in all pedals. This is why it's my favorite. Now, the only flaws that I would say that I have with this is a lot of people were saying like, oh, it doesn't have a mid knob. There's no mids in this. It always has too many mids. Well, your amp actually does have mids, so you can definitely adjust the mids. So that's not a total foul. I think having less is maybe a little bit more. So I think not having mids is kind of okay. Just make sure that your amp has mids. I know my Bad Cat clean distortion, my clean channel only has it's a tone knob and it gives you sections, and that's I didn't like because I did need mids with this. But if your amp has a mid knob, that's totally cool, but I guess that would be a negative. The other thing that I did not care for is what was I just kind of went dead right now. Oh, it's very, very powerful. Like it's almost like when you go to boost an amp and your amp already has a distortion, you are stacking two distortions on top of each other. Keep that in mind. But if this amp just had a little bit less gain, if there was a way that they can make this knob go completely flat, this would be like the Friedman Tube Screamer. It would be perfect for boosting your amp just that much. But like you noticed in my video, I literally had the volume like this. This volume is super powerful, so that's definitely a plus. But I kind of wish that the gain would go a little bit less, just a little bit less push, which I think that's the Friedman Shiva pedal, and I need to get my hands on that because if that's just a little bit more of a boost. But other than that, this is very awesome, and I highly recommend this to anyone that wants to play just good classic rock, good metal, even metal. I think this kills the Precision Drive. The Precision Drive just sounds like a cheap noise gate that's added in as a bonus, and I don't think the distortion itself is dynamic. I don't think that it's as good as this pedal. This is an actual amp in a box. The Precision Drive just kind of boost your computer, I guess. That wasn't my taste of a pedal. As a lot of my friends have asked me, and I told them I thought I'd be honest with you, because in that Precision Drive I said it wasn't my thing, and you guys said you need to try a Friedman, and you guys were right, and I thank you for your guys' suggestions. And if you guys have any other suggestions, you should definitely comment below and let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. You can comment, tell me what you think, any other videos you want me to do. Also, my clothing line. I just released my clothing line, so you guys can go follow the links below and, of course, purchase if any of the shirts that you like. So you can follow me on Instagram like always. And yeah, hope to see you guys wearing my shirts. Definitely tag me in some photos if you ever get them. And hope to see you guys around. See ya.